Good evening, campers. Excuse me. So, yes, this is coming to you late. It's been a day. Uh, so, let's start off with catching everybody up to what's been going on in my life since you last heard from me, which would have probably been last night, I guess. So, I stayed up rather late, probably too late. Definitely should have gone to bed long before I actually did. Started off by watching the Good Omens series on Amazon. I'd read the book years ago when it came out, and so I just had to watch the series because the book was so delightful as far as I was concerned. The series itself was also delightful. I'm not sure, because it's been so long since I read the book, I'm not sure how close it came to the book, but it seemed to hit all the points I remembered at any rate, and it was great. It was great to watch. 6 episodes of that, I believe. So I did that. I watched that. And then I watched the Deadwood movie. I watched the Deadwood movie because I had watched the Deadwood series back a few years ago, and then watched it again last week when I knew the movie was coming out. The movie was a great follow-up to the series, and it resolved next to nothing from the series. In fact, it threw a couple other new things in there that probably should be resolved at some point. So I'm rather hoping there's another movie to come out here shortly. Kind of doubt it because the guy that created the series and created and wrote the movie is suffering from Alzheimer's, and so probably won't be able to do any more of that. Now, maybe somebody else will write it and put it out there, but the original creator probably won't be able to, which is a sad, sad thing. Which, coincidentally enough, is that was Terry Pratchett's issue at the very end. He also had Alzheimer's. I think he did a couple more books while he had the Alzheimer's before he passed away. So it's a sad thing when those the most creative among us are taken by that horrible, horrible disease. And it's one of the things I dread, to be quite honest. My brain is the muscle, if you will, that I value the most. It's the one I use the most definitely. Even before I degraded into the terrible shape that I'm in now, my brain was what powered me. So if I should ever come start losing that, then, well, let me just say that I dread that the most. It's bad enough right now that my physical body is betraying me. If my mental body starts to do so, I don't know what I'll do. But that's a disaster for another day. So anyway, I ended up going to bed around 2:30. Alarm went off at 8. I only hit the snooze button a couple of times before getting up, around 8:30 or so. Made coffee successfully. Yay. Got ready for dialysis. Tried to do a morning edition, but just didn't have time. If I'm going to do morning editions on the days I have dialysis, I really need to start getting up early or prepping them the evening before. Part of the reason why I didn't have time was because I filmed a morning edition using the iPhone, but when I imported it to Premiere Pro, it came without sound, and I haven't yet figured out how to get the sound back. The sound file is apparently there because I can. Well, let's just put it this way without getting too involved in the Premiere Pro controls. The sound file is there. I can see it, but for some reason I can't hear it. Now, when I do it via photo booth, like I'm doing now, that doesn't seem to be an issue. So, I don't know what's going on. I've restarted the iPhone in case it's an issue with the iPhone, and usually restarting will fix any issues. So we'll see how that works out later on. So anyway, went to dialysis. Considering that I know I didn't get enough sleep last night, I figured I would sleep for most of dialysis today. That wasn't to be, however. I don't know how many of you read the blog post I put on Patreon the other day regarding the gentleman who came in to the lobby, listening to the videos on his phone without using a headset, and then singing quite loudly along with them, because apparently that's something you do. And I've always found stuff like that annoying. Well, even more annoying is when a gaggle of 20-something, 20, 30-something women decide that they're going to have a hen party in the dialysis room. Now, the dialysis room itself is a large room. It's got, I believe, 10 chairs for dialysis in there. And, most everybody comes in. They've got TVs up on the walls, one TV per chair, with a headset for the TV and a remote for each, so that you can watch TV, plug the headset in, and not bother anybody else. In fact, you can't watch TV without the headset because they're hardwired into the television sets. But apparently these young ladies decided that they were, and it was 3 patients and one of the nurses.
It's 18:30.
Thank you, dear. Like I said, they're all around, I would say between 25 and 40. And they just decided they were going to talk about anything and everything as loudly as they could. I'm sure many of you know the type of person that I'm talking about. They seem to have no volume control at all when they talk. And when you get 4 of them together babbling away about their boyfriends, their husbands, their housing situations, what they had for dinner last night, this recipe and that recipe, they can be quite loud. And it was loud enough to keep me from being able to go to sleep. So I had to... So yeah, I basically sat there watching TV for 4 hours, which, probably killed my IQ. And anytime I would just kind of drift off, because, when you're watching TV, you can drift off even with the volume up. One or another of them would laugh or giggle or caw or cackle or whatever the hell they were doing. And I would just jolt right back awake again. So, no sleep for the wicked. Got home a little earlier than I thought because the bus came a little before 10, so I got to the clinic about 10 o'clock. They brought me in because you still have to wait, even no matter how early you get there. You still have to wait for the for one of the chairs to empty. So it was 10:45 or so before they pulled me into the back and hooked me up. So it was a little before 3 when I got unhooked. My ride was waiting there for me, which was good. So I got home about 3:15, grabbed a sandwich, and then decided I was going to go take a nap, and then woke up probably about 6 o'clock. So a fairly lengthy nap for me. And I'm still a little meh. So got that going for me, which is nice. So I'm going to put this up and probably watch some more Sopranos. Don't be surprised if you don't get anything other than this today, but I will try to do at least 2 tomorrow. And we'll see what happens. Oh, I gave my gastroenterologist, Dr. Karki, the doctor who I went to see yesterday, gave me a letter for the dialysis clinic because the procedure that she wants to do can only be done on Tuesdays, and I normally have dialysis on Tuesdays. So she gave me a letter to give to the clinic asking them to reschedule me for a Monday. And I gave it to the guy who was in charge today, Adam, nice enough guy. And he's like, well, we'll see, because we've always got to keep these seats as full as possible. So if there's somebody, so we're probably full up on Monday and don't have any way to fit you in, but we'll see as the date gets closer. Maybe somebody will cancel out or whatnot. So, yippee-ki-yay. Let's see, what else? Can't think of anything else, really, to fill you guys in on. The good news is that Bogey didn't get into anything while I was gone. So, I was quite happy with that. So, all right, well, let me sign off here, and you guys have a good night. I will try to have a good night. Like I said, probably go to bed early, and see how the world goes between now and the next time I see it. I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. All right, y'all be cool.